Welcome back again. Now that we have installed everything necessary for creating an Android project, now it's time to do that. To create an Android project, you have to click this New Project button. And in that very next page, you have to make sure that this phone and tablet is selected, because whatever application we are creating, that will be run on phone and tablet. And make sure also that this empty activity, which is a compose activity, is selected, because through the entire course we will use Jetpack Compose library for user interface development. That's why every time we create a new Android project, we will choose this empty activity, and this is like a template. That means whenever the project is created, then you will see many codes are already there with many configurations. So after selecting this, we have to click Next button, and in the next page we have to give a name for our application. And whenever we choose a name, the name that will be shown, and it says that this name will be shown in the Android launcher for this application. So whatever name we provide here, if you install this application in your device, then in the launcher screen in our device, this app name will be shown. So app name should be precise and concise, not too long, not too short, and that should reflect the behavior or the nature of our app. And since we are creating our first Android project, I am going to give a name according to that. For example, say Hello Android. So this is the application name, and don't worry, before we publish this app to Play Store, anytime we can change the name of our application even after the development. Okay, so now here comes the next part. We have to define a package name. So what is actually a package name? The package name that actually uniquely identifies your app on the device, the Google Play Store and other app stores. If you go to Play Store, where we normally download Android applications, you may find many applications with the same name. But to uniquely identify one application, we provide the package name, and this package name must be unique for every application. And think of it like an address or fingerprint for our application. And also, this is very important, no two apps can have the same package name. So whatever package name we choose, we have to choose it very carefully so that our package name does not resemble to any other app's package name on the device as well as in the Play Store or any other app stores. And this package name acts as a namespace within our code, preventing naming conflicts between classes and resources across different parts of our app. And you will understand this line whenever we create our Android project and the way we create files and manage our files. In that case, this package name will act as a namespace within our code. And also it defines a hierarchy for organizing our code base, making it easier to maintain and navigate, and the format that we should adopt whenever we give a package name, and the format will be something like that. So this is like a reverse domain. For example, if you have a domain like abc.com or www.abc.com, then the package name should be com. Then the domain name and then the app name. So this is how the package name is constructed. And we all know that a domain is always unique. So a website has a unique domain. For example, if I go to developer.android.com, so this is a unique domain and there will be no other website with the same domain. And since the domain is unique, so whatever you add after the domain name will become, the entire string or entire package name will become unique as well. And if you don't have a domain, your personal domain or your company domain, then don't worry, you have to choose some words in such a way that your package name doesn't resemble to any other package name or from Play Store or any other app stores. We need to keep it unique and descriptive and relevant to our app. And also we need to avoid spaces and special characters and uppercase letters, as they are not allowed. So in the package name, the uppercase letters, any space, and special characters like @ and / or /, they are not allowed at all. So with that rules and regulation, now I'm going to provide a package name, and the default package name is the Android Studio has said, which is com.example.helloandroid. And this part, Hello Android, is actually the name of our application, whatever name we have provided. And it converted all the letters to a small letter and removed all the spaces. And for development period, when you actually start developing or create an Android project, it's completely okay with this example domain or com.example. And of course, we can change the package name at any stage before we publish this app to Play Store. We can actually change the name of the package. Maybe at some later point you buy a domain and then change the package name and use your domain name. And the next part is the location where this project will be saved. And the default location is something like that. So this is my Windows drive. So C drive, the users folder, under the name of this computer, user or username computer, and then Android Studio projects and Hello Android. So this is the default location for saving a new Android project. And also you can change the location. You can choose any drive. Of course, you need to specify the folder name, and then you can save your Android projects there. But I'm keeping this default location this time. And also we need to specify the minimum SDK. And there is a drop-down list, and here you will see that there are different versions of Android. You know that Android comes with a version name like Lollipop, Marshmallow, Nougat, and every Android operating system version name, there is a corresponding version number. Like for Marshmallow, the version number is 6 and the API number is 23. And for Nougat, which is 7 and then API 24. And by default, for minimum SDK, the API 24 is selected. And what does it mean? So by specifying a minimum SDK, what we are trying to tell is whatever application we are building right now, this application will only be installed on those devices that has this minimum operating system installed. That means if any user has a smartphone or Android smartphone and the operating system of that device is Marshmallow, which is 23, but whenever we create this project, we have set the minimum SDK to 24, then this application will not be installed on that user's phone. So this is the minimum required operating system version to install this application. And you will see some real data over here, and this data is based on the visitors of Play Store, and it currently says that 97.4% of devices around the world are actually using this Android version. So if I set the minimum SDK to 24, then this application or our Android app will be installed or cover 97.4% device around the world. And whenever you create a project, you always will want to have the maximum coverage, or you will actually want that maximum number of user will use your application. So this number is actually a very good number that our app will be installed in 97.4% of devices. And if you choose the latter version, like if we choose the latest version like API 35, you'll see that this version of Android is used less than 1% of device. So if we set the minimum SDK to this number, then our app will be installed on less than 1% device that we don't want actually. So 24 is like a threshold or a standard version or minimum SDK, and Android Studio also suggests that we should set this minimum SDK version to 24, and I'm keeping it as that. And also the last option, which is the build configuration language. That means whenever we run this application, the build process will run, and for that build configuration language, we will select Kotlin domain specific language, which is also recommended. You can also choose Groovy DSL build.gradle that we used earlier in earlier versions of Android Studio, but now DSL is recommended. So with this configuration, now it's time to hit this finish button, and after a few moments, Android Studio will build this project, and whatever information we have passed, it will collect and then create our project. But if you are building this project or creating this Android project for the first time on your device, it will maybe take some time and download the Kotlin version or maybe some other tools that is required or necessary. So we have to give some time to Android Studio and wait. And if everything goes right, then you will see after a couple of minutes, Android Studio will finish building this project and it will be ready to run on any device, especially on Android devices.